down. This is Leonard Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Flushed out right. He'll run it. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Now a handoff looking right. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
They'll look to throw. And it's caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
Defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
The numbers there for Connor in last week's game. 16 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
380!
Off the play fake here, Rivers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Rivers on the money, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. On 1st and 10, Rivers. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Slack 11! 56.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Second down and goal. Rivers to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Rivers looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Tavecchio puts this one through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of your playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Check 9, check 9. Check, check.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
70, Indy. 61, matchbox, lights. Ready.
On first down, Corbin takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. The open man is Westbrook. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it?
Oh, this is blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Stay there. Run 80. Round. Behind.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Rivers. That's complete to his running back, Connor.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll run on 1st down. Connor. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. And the Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Rivers. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
On first down, it's Connor, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He's going to go up top for the end zone. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Switch. Check three. Watch twins. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Watch out. Kill. Go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Switch it. Come on, switch it. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Check 50. Greystone travel. Under 10. 10.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. Give him 32 on the play. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Josh Oliver, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Now, we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
From the 38, Rivers. Washington's got it. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, Rivers. Open man is Switzer, complete. So we reach halftime here at a 10-point and abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Check 31. He's checking.
Hey, lock it.
Check 3. Showing it.
Let go.
Right back to him on first down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin Bush able to record his 5th sack of the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Let's go, Heavy. What you got? Heavy?
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Connor on first down going to be stopped up as he'll lose about 3. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Check, 390, 190.
56. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
They go play action. Rivers. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Vance McDonald, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Yo, shit.
Fair. Hey, team 6.
Fresno. Big dance. Go. Check 43.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
64.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kamale Correa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. One quarter remains here in Week 16. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Maybe an important fourth-quarter miss as this stays a three-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a three-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
Play fake, Rivers. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Here we go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And he completes it to Westbrook. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. 2nd and 2. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Cameron Hayward make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
The open man is Shark. It's complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll look to throw here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Vincent Valentine. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road? And everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they hit the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Rivers now to throw on first down. He'll get that one complete to Connor.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 30. Rivers now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. To the air again here, Rivers. Screen pass to Connor. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Cut! 180!
Like 50. Whip.
Again, the small one out of the gun. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
We got this.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
But we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Tavecchio is good, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left.
They score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
So now the Jags down by a field goal, less than 90 seconds to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Space to maneuver at the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Hey, Sam off.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up.
Look, squeeze. Sit up.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And now look at him go. Touchdown, Jaguars! Leonard Fournette hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now it's the Steelers' turn, trailing by 4, 70 seconds remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
Stay there, White 90.
50, let him know, let him know.
Behind.
They'll look to throw. To Connor on the check down. And another tackle broken. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it's a second down. Rivers has been through this many times as he'll hustle his guys to the line.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Back to throw. He'll dump this one off to Connor. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Here's Rivers. Now a desperation throw deep down. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
What looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they... And that's caught inside the 30. And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Steelers, it's a good 5th win for them as they play out the string. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars...
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist,
wrist, all on the wrist, watch how I flip. I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. You know they came from the bottom and now we was lit. He was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hate cause ice on the wrist, but I bet you wanna be famous. They made us, you know I'm icy in Vegas. This for them that hate us, I make a lot of new money, when it's not savers. You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist. Watch out, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist.
I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent my 10 on my 50. Ex-slick, then he with the back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these 4 things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip. Crush.